All right, guys, this is it right here. Let's get these rockwool cubes buffered, soaked. Get these clones in here and let's go, everyone. This is day one of veg. Let's get growing. All right, guys, cool. So here we go. I got my little water wand here. First thing we got to do is soak these rockwool blocks, okay? We have these laid out in this pattern. This isn't normally the pattern we would lay them out. This is just for soaking preference. So basically, we would normally put 72 on a table. It's 24 a table in flour, so one veg table takes care of 3 flour tables. That's the way we're gonna lay them out in veg, but for today, we have them in the order of 98 per table. And the reason why we're doing that is it just makes the soak a lot easier. Having all the cubes lined up when we go ahead and we soak, you can see that when we soak, you know, obviously there's some overflow from the other cube that we're trying to hit. So this way it just keeps it clean. We don't waste any water. By doing it this way, we keep the water basically like on all the cubes. There's no gaps here, so we can just do this all day. Now, what we are soaking this with right now is just A and B, straight out of the dosatron. The dosatron is hooked up to this hose right here and it's pumping, so we didn't mix any nutrients. Now, the pH that is coming out of this right now, it fluctuates through the dosatron. It goes anywhere from as low as 5.8 up to even like 6.2 at times. This facility is not running an RO. This facility actually runs filtered water, just at like a K&F filter to take out chlorine and like that. So it does run slightly higher pH than we're normally used to seeing because most facilities run RO. But with that said, don't get caught up in the whole 5.5 thing that the rockwool teaches you. Basically, rockwool through the manufacturing process, it comes out a little alkaline. So as long as you get it to where your pH normally is, you know, a range of 5.8, 6.2, as long as you soak it with something like that, it's good to go. What we're doing here is we're resetting the cube essentially. So soaking it with, you know, let's say that you grow at a 6.2. Soaking it with a 6.2 is just fine. What we need to accomplish here is a heavy accumulation of runoff. That tells us that the cube has been thoroughly reset and that it's not alkaline anymore and that it matches the pH of the input that we're putting into it. So basically, don't get caught up on the whole 5.5 thing. Obviously, if you have the means to do so, really cool thing about the pH perfect nutrients is if you are running RO water, I have been in some scenarios before where the pH comes out around like a 5.6 in certain areas with certain water. That's great. I mean, just go ahead and hit it. But again, like I said, this one fluctuating between 5.8 and 6.2 at times, it's completely fine. And then what we're gonna do after this, because I do like to utilize inoculants and enzymes and things like that during the transplant so that all the roots just kick off nicely. Since we do want to add stuff like that, we're going to do our initial soak with just the A and B at 15 mLs per gallon coming out of the dosatron, you know, with an average pH of around 6. We're going to just soak all the cubes with that first to make our lives easy and to not waste additional nutrients like our inoculants. And then from there, what we're going to do, once these things are all fully soaked and then they only need like a little bit of water to run through the bottom, we'll mix a separate reservoir, and in that reservoir we'll put all of the goodies like the inoculants, the enzymes, and we'll only need about a 50-gallon reservoir to come through, hit these tables each with about 10 gallons of water to just give them a final reset where we're gonna put all those inoculants in. Again, you don't need to do that from the beginning because you're just gonna waste a bunch of nutrients. Soak your cubes first with just a simple A and B, get them fully saturated, get them soaked, get the pH reset, and then you can come through with a small dose of all that good stuff. Save yourself some money. No need to soak your blocks in that and basically just pass it through. We're literally trying to create runoff here, so we're wasting water and nutrients, so let's not waste any more valuable nutrients than what we need to. All right, guys, we got all of our cubes, all 576 cubes have been soaked now. Cool little thing about the Pargrow. Like I said, this is my first time running it as well. Does not need as much water as the typical Grow Down 6x6s. We used significantly less water. Once I got in here and I really started monitoring them and not just soaking them, they do require less water and they do drain quicker, obviously quick drain. So with that said, it's about 50 gallons per table, I would say, per 98. So that's roughly about like a half a gallon, a little over half a gallon per plant. So cool little thing. Again, these things are new to us as well. We've been all about the new and improved Grodan lately. Fortunately, we couldn't get our hands on them, so we're trying out these par grows. Again, these are 14% less denser. They say quick drain. They are only made with one type of stone wool. So I'm interested really to try these. They seem like they're gonna dry back a lot quicker. That is interesting to me. I'm all about crop steering these days. I'm all about dry backs. Hopefully it's nothing negative that they dry back too quickly once we have them in flower. Again, this is a pretty good size substrate for the size plant we're gonna be growing in, so I'm not too worried about it, but we'll play it by ear. Again though, if you guys have any experience, suggestion, tips on the par grow quick drains, go ahead and drop them in the comments. We're always open to opinions and everything like that. We're not closed-minded over here. Any kind of suggestions you guys can give us and we can return the favor to you guys. So yeah, anything about these things, go ahead and drop a comment. All right guys, so now that these are fully soaked, let's go and mix our final nutrient solution where we'll come over and just tap them all with it. We'll be mixing our inoculants, our voodoo, piranha, tarantula, some enzymes, and even some B52. So let's go get that mixed up right now and let's get these things soaked.